Hi everyone. Last week we talked about asking questions in Just Ask. When you ask questions and people respond different ways and how you manage and how you go about asking questions. The second part of Just Ask is listening. you know because a lot of people miss that part of it. They ask a question, they throw a question at a customer or another person, and then they go about talking about their thing rather than listening and understanding where they are coming from. Today I'm going to talk about a little bit more how to listen and what is the impact of listening. If you look at it, I'm going to look at the three different scenarios. During my college years, that's why when we are learning new concept and in new country, that was the most important thing for me. Even though I didn't understand English very well when I came to US, I had to take a lot of technical classes and I had to interact with a lot of people. So the way I was able to do very well in those classes was I used the class time and interacting time with the professors and listen well. So I follow their conversation. I think through what they are going to talk about, and I try to understand before even they say some of these things. And when they say it, I listen very carefully. By doing that, I was able to understand, actually learn English in one side. On the other side of it, I was able to understand the concept very clearly and perfectly. And for example, some of these time, I will be raising my hand and asking, correcting some of the professors' typos or the mistakes they make when they are writing these equations. People ask me, how did you know that was a mistake? Basically, I just follow them. I listen to them, what they are saying. Most of the time, they say right words, but when they are writing it, they make some mistakes. So I try to make sure, which one is right, because I made some assumption there by listening to them and go and correct it. The second part of it is, while coaching or, talking to other people, how do you convince them and to do that? For that, you need to make sure you understand where they are coming from. So that is, again, the second part of it, listening. So, I used to be a TA, teaching assistant, as well as coach for many things. And so the way I teach other people is by first listening to them, how they would solve the problem, or where they have a block, or where they couldn't solve the problem. That way I could put myself in their shoes by listening, and then follow that one and take them to their place, and then they move to the right answers by talking to them. By doing that, the people who you are talking to, they really feel comfortable and understand, as well as you also able to articulate that well. Okay. The third one is dealing with customers. So you want to extract some additional information. So you go and tell them, you present, some of the product managers I have worked with, the biggest mistake they make is they will go and tell this is a thing the product can do and all those things. Rather than understanding and making sure that I ask where the pain point for the customers, and based on that, you present your product, why this product is good for them. And so to do that, you want to extract information from them. So these are the three areas, when you're learning, when you're coaching, when you're extracting all this information, the listening is very important. Many of these people who I have worked with, the great people who have done very good in industries, they are very good listeners, and they really make sure they listen to the customer problem or the other people's issues. And then they articulate that well, bouncing back to them. So I ask you, when you are interacting with others, or when you're talking to, people, try to put some, time with your ears and listen more. And if you do that, you will get a lot to an end goal pretty fast and accurately. We'll see you next week. Thank you.